If I said I was playing one of the best rated public courses on the Monterey Peninsula, you'd be thinking about Pebble Beach. But we're here at Poppy Hills for my first round of 2025. And indeed, my first round in a couple of months. First hit of the golf ball sees us off to the left, which is kind of what you want on this dogleg right. Downhill approach to the green, pull out the 7-iron, aim to the left, and hope that around 150 yards. Early morning with a first tee time out there. Guess what? It worked out. Big surprise. Leaves us with a decent putt for a potential birdie. But the putting game was not on point for most of this round, to be fair. Par 3 second, an interesting hole as well, because there's danger short, danger left. And so I'm not happy initially with my 8-iron, but ends up getting on the green. Can't necessarily complain about that. But this is one of those greens with a couple of different levels. And so the first one, I'm a bit scared about the downhill roll ridge that I've got. Leave it short. And then hoping to try and stay par. No. Leave it up a little bit. But fortunately, short tap in for a bogey. Dogleg left, where you really do want to try and stay on the left to cut the corner, but guess what? The slice makes its big appearance. And worse, we roll off the edge of the fairway, so all we can do is chop back up into the middle, and from there, unleash a 7-iron and hope to get a little bit closer to the green. This one comes up just a bit short on the right. It's an uphill approach as well, but my poor camera placement is at least matched by a decent chip, and then a poor putt once again. Tricky greens here at Poppy Hills. And then onto the first par 5, where sun's in the eye, and a low stinger catches the tee box in front of me, and well, it's not a very far drive, and so a long hole becomes even longer. 3-wood balloons up into the air. Doesn't really get much distance, only about 170-ish yards on that one. And then 4 hybrid, thinking we'll try and play it a bit safer, comes out low, comes out left. On the left side of the green though, which you'd think's all right, but still early morning, plenty of dew, and I completely underhit it. And well, leave myself a decent amount of distance to try and save a par. And come up just short. Another uphill putt slightly and just catches me out. It's a tough opening 5 holes to start things off, and well, say hello to my friend Mr. Slice. Don't know if you can hear it, but I get saved by a cart path bounce somehow. I still don't really understand how that worked. And so we're left with a 9-iron in, which is always nice when you can get down to those irons that will stop. You heard it. What I wanted it to do. The ball didn't listen. And then to make matters worse, it's a 3-putt. I just pick it up. I was so frustrated. Didn't even get the ball into the hole on that one. This is another one which is quite interesting par 3-wise, and I make it even worse by finding sand. Good thing about Poppy Hills. Love the bunkers in. You can see just how difficult the shot kind of is. The green falls away from me and I go and chunk it anyway, so leave myself with some work to now try and at least recover a bogey, but chips like that don't really help. Putts like this, I got excited for a second. Short once more. Could have been a chance to try and at least grab par, but really messed up. Another dog leg left, and so guess what? Mr. Slice returns, but this one at least does end up finding fairway. Don't really know how. It's a downhill approach, and guess what? The danger zone is a ravine effectively off to the left, which I managed to find. Problem with this is it's kind of a high approach, pins quite close to where I sit, my side of the green, and so I'm not capable of flopping it, and so I'm very excited. The ball stops for me. Could tell as soon as I hit it that I pushed that one as well. Even my lab putter isn't going to save me there. And so we're 8 over going into the 8th. And first time that I break out the 3-wood off the tee thinking, fairway finder. Fortunately, I was wrong. And we did get fairway. Another downhill, kind of an awkward stance in some ways. And I somewhat shanked the 9-iron and pull it left. There's a big old ridge. It just, you can see, push the ball away and kind of took away a chance, I would say, of par. It's not a bad putt. Comes up short once again. But now onto the hole that I was a bit scared of. Final hole on the front 9, and, well, what do? Slice it off into the overflow of the range. So I take a drop. I slightly cheat there. So that's our 3rd, and I lay up because there's this big old ravine. Pitching wedge for our 4th, and it goes into the out-of-bound area. Take a drop. Becomes our 6th shot, and I don't even know what we did there. Just didn't come out right. And so now we're on our 7th at this point, and I'm so frustrated I just walk off. I'm trying to get my cart moving, remote controls back with the cart. But it actually works out not terrible. And then another putt left short, and so +9 going into the 9th, 13 over on the front 9. Long-ish par 5 to open up the back 9. Got to be careful on the left with the approach, and I say, you know what, let's just keep it safe. 7-iron from around, was 200 odd yards, comes up just short. Still a little bit damp and soggy, so I just kind of chunk it. But again, love the bunkers here at Poppy Hills. When you're in them, at least there's some confidence. And so a chance to grab a nice par, and look at that, an up and down to kick off the back 9. Is that going to be a sign of things to come? No. We're off on the right on the first par 3. It's a short one as well, so a bit frustrating. Just inside of the out-of-bound area as well. Quite remarkable. Push the first one long. Second chip goes a little bit too short, but at the very least, ball hooks around and we grab a bogey. So this is an interesting hole where there's 2 bunkers kind of that pincer the fairway left and right, and I get just over, or just rather short of the right side bunker. Quite lucky, and a 9-iron in, much like on hole number 1. I'm unsure, but it's not bad. The greens just, though, the one nemesis today, step up and at least get a par, which is nice. We stay +14 going into the 13th, which drive looks okay initially, but it just starts to fall off at the very end. Camera placement fell off there as well, but was not the easiest sort of punches that I was trying to get. Land short, and this is an elevated approach. I land short, and I'm very lucky the ball doesn't roll back off the green. It's a long old putt. I get hype until it misses by about half a cup. Maybe that. Drop it in. Another one for a bogey. And now this 14th is a short 322-yard par 4, which if you can carry the corner, you're in for a treat. But guess what? Mr. Slice returns, and I have to punch out of the trees. It's a very, very awkward position, but gap wedge in. First time that I think I've really felt confident with the gap wedge on this round. Shedding the layers as it gets warmer as well. And again, the putt just misses half a cup right, but we recover a bogey, which is all we can do. There are 3 par 3s. Not always scoring opportunities for me, and I'm not happy with this, but I didn't realize this. The green actually funnels in quite well, and so that's a birdie in the round of disappointment. So what do we do to back things up? Well, it's a pretty big slice. It's a pretty big slice. End of the day, though, it's a dogleg right, so it could be worse. Not a great opportunity to get off the ground. At least makes me laugh. And we're left with a decent distance in to try and at least grab a par from this 400-odd yard par 4. I mean, that is maybe the worst putt of the day, without a shadow of a doubt. And then that just sums up my luck. Like, oh, let's not talk about luck. So, short par 3, 123 yards, 8 iron. There's a bit of wind, so I was trying to club up a little bit. Into the bunker, come up just short. It's plugged. And so that is now my third bunker shot of the hole. And we're already looking at least a double bogey. Get it out of the bunker, but plus 17 going into 17. Any chance of breaking 90 at this point is kind of gone. It's a triple bogey. It's a triple bogey. Not a great sort of feeling going into the final hole, but this is a somewhat gettable par 5 in 2 if you're good, which I'm not. So off on the right, and then off on the left with the hybrid, because it actually goes straight instead of slicing, which I kind of expected. It's a pretty rough lie. Kind of get it out to somewhere better. And then this is quite a good shot, actually, for what has been a disappointing round. Couple of feet for a par. And so, plus 20 for my first round of 2025. Let me know what you think about this video. Filmed it on a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, all on my remote control golf bag. Hopefully more to come this year.